That's going to be delicious. Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here. This weekend we're trying something completely different. So we are camping at Hart Springs. It's a campground in Ghilchrist County, Florida, and this is primitive camping where I'm at. They do have RV camping. Unfortunately, there's no hammock camping allowed out here from what I can understand. So we do have a tent pad though. I did bring a tent so we can set up the tent out here. I've only used this tent one other time, but I think it's going to be okay. But nice thing is this place has a beautiful spring area over there, and we'll go try to check that out. Typically, this is not my kind of place, obviously, but it's a nice, well-kept place. They do have a store up there. We'll go check that out in a few minutes. And really, really nice place out here. So it's not cheap. It's like 30 bucks a night for primitive camping, which is astronomical in my mind. But I wanted to check it out, so here we are. We're gonna have some fun and just see what this place is about. Let's get it. All right, so because it is late spring, we're heading into summer, right at the beginning of hurricane season, this is going to be an afternoon rain. I'm fairly certain it may not, but we want to be prepared for it. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and get this tent set up. So this weekend we're going to be using the Teton Sports Mountain Ultra 1, I believe is which one this is. Got this tent for Sarah, and she still has yet to sleep in it. But we have tried it out one time, and if you want to watch that video, I'll link it up here in the card. And that kind of has a run through of the tent for you. But really nice tent, and we'll probably leave the rain fly off of it. I did bring a tarp to go over it. If you use a tarp on a tent like this that has a lot of mesh, you can get the tarp up higher off of the tent itself and create some airflow, keep that tent a little cooler. Before we go ahead and set this tent up, I'm going to go ahead and put a ground cloth down. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it definitely helps make your tent last a little longer. The things that I do to bring you guys good content. That's okay. We're pretty much set up now. It's time for me to bring out a cool drink. Now technically here you're not supposed to drink any alcohol, so we're going to abide by that rule tonight. And we did bring in some firewood. I got some firewood, but there's no designated fire ring, so I'll have to kind of play that by ear to see how that looks. Probably not going to actually need a fire tonight, but I got it just in case we might want to sit around the fire tonight. Got a couple cool new things I want to show you guys, but first I'm going to grab me a drink. But that kind of ties into what I want to talk about in this video some, is summer camping in Florida. So a couple weeks ago I talked about in one of my videos a couple little short tips on summer camping in Florida. And I kind of want to elaborate a little more on that today. So grab my drink real quick. Let's sit down and talk about it. Now I'll probably end up getting a copyright strike on this video because of all the people just blaring music around here, but we'll see. But I wanted to talk to you guys about camping in Florida in the summertime. Now, like I said in that other video, this is one of the big things. So not only do you need to be drinking water, you need to be drinking something to put your electrolytes back in you. And obviously here, I'm car camping. A couple little tips that you can do that are actually pretty cool is instead of buying ice to go in your cooler, you can freeze these. You can freeze your gallon of water, your water bottles or whatever. You can freeze those and put those in your cooler for ice, and as they melt you can drink them, and you always have some good ice water. So that's a pretty good little tip. Another good tip is lighter weight shirts like this. Obviously you can see I'm still sweating in it, but it's not like a heavy cotton shirt. This shirt has, you know, breathe holes in the back of it. It's a fishing shirt. You can also use the little moisture wicking fast dry shirts. Those work out really good, and it's that time, so you need something that's going to wick the water away from you and it's going to dry out fast. Here in just a little while I'm going to put my swim trunks on. I'm going to head over there and get in the water, and that's tip number 3. Like I said in that other video, try to find a place to camp by water. And the nice thing about this place is I'm actually just a short walk from the spring over there. And throughout the afternoon, as it gets hot, I can go over there, get in the water, cool off a little bit. And right before bed this evening, now you can't swim over there after dark, so I had to keep that in mind. But just as it starts to cool off in the evening, I'll go over there, hop in the water, swim for a little while, and cool myself off. And in that way, when it's time to go to bed, I won't be sweaty and nasty and sticky from the whole day. So, but throughout the day, we'll kind of talk about it and talk about a few more tips and everything. But for now, I think I'm fixing to go back up here. I'll show you the store. We'll throw on some swimming trunks and go down and get in the water for a little bit. Busy, busy, busy. So the place does have a basketball court and some volleyball courts, little pavilions out here, and there's even a little water park over there for the kids to play at. Another tip for camping in Florida is a wide brim hat. Wear that wide brim hat. It'll keep the sun off your face and your head, and it'll help you cool off. And if you have to, you can actually wet the hat, and wetting your head actually cools your body core temperature down. So the next tip is sunscreen. Don't get sunburned. If you get sunburned out here and then have to try to sleep tonight in a tent where it's warm, it's gonna be miserable. Wear your sunscreen. I've just got a little tube right here, and we'll put a little bit of sunscreen on. I'm covered. I've got my long sleeve shirt, but I just did that because I couldn't find my short sleeve shirt. But wear your sunscreen, make sure you don't get sunburned, and it'll make your trip a whole lot more enjoyable. Now let's get in this water and enjoy it. Well, that water is cold. Name but one way to do it. That's cold, all right, but it feels awesome. Whew. Well, I'll tell you, that water feels good. It's cold, but I've had enough for now. I think I'm fixing to get ready to make some dinner and enjoy my evening. So it actually, the sun's starting to get a little lower and it's cooling off a little bit. It's not so blazing hot, and knock on wood, we haven't had any rain this afternoon, so might turn out to be a really nice night. Now, I did have somebody recommend that I get up early in the morning and go back down to the spring because it's super clear in the morning, and like there's some turtles and stuff all over the place. And also there's a lot of different trails around here and boardwalks. This boardwalk over here goes way down all the way out to the Suwannee River, so we may go out there in just a little while and check that out. But back over this way, there's more boardwalks and more trails. So there's actually a lot of stuff to do out here besides just swimming. Not exactly my type of place, because you guys know I like to be more back in the woods. But I gotta say, it's a nice place. They do have the store up there. And the store has, you know, volleyballs and basketballs and footballs and stuff like that that you can actually rent. Which is nice. They have, you know, your typical store stuff. They have drinks, and they have floaties and stuff for the kids. They have some goggles for the kids, and your typical stuff, you know, for camping out here, and sunscreen and all that sort of thing. So it's a nice thing to have right here in the area where you're camping in case you forgot something. And they also have bathrooms up there and showers. So like I said, 30 bucks for the night is kind of steep for me, but hey, there's a lot of amenities here, so if it's something you're into, definitely might be worth the money. So I told you earlier that I had a couple new things that I wanted to show you. This is one of them. Got a new chair. So me and Sarah went to Sam's the other day, and I've been wanting one of those little rocking hammock chairs, so we picked one up. Really nice, simple. It has these holes in either side, so you just push this down, you put a pin through either side, and that locks it in place. Little frame. Nice and simple. It's got a little receptacle here to grab on either side. Drop one there. Drop one there. Voila, you got a chair. And this thing is comfortable too. Oh yeah. Yeah boy, that is comfortable. This thing is so nice. So it's got these adjustable straps here, so you can kick back and relax like this. You can tighten your straps up a little bit, and you can sit more straight up and down in it. Or you can kick these bad boys back and really get back in here with it. That's money well spent there. Well, I made a mistake. Now before you say, Sean, that's impossible, I get where you're coming from, but I did make a mistake. Somehow, while I was loading everything up, I forgot to load up my little gas camp stove. And that's what I was planning on for dinner tonight. But I've always got a backup plan. I've got my little firebox stove, or a little twig stove, and I've got some firewood, so we're just going to split some of this firewood down to fit inside that twig stove and make it work. Improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? That's what we're going to try to do anyway. Some hard stuff. So, if you remember, when I first got this thing, I didn't really like it. But I've kept it around because it is pretty dang handy to have. But when I first got it, I didn't really think it worked that great. But sure, I'm glad I have it with me today. So, I mean, I could have easily just set up on the ground down there and build a little fire and it would have been fine. But I didn't really want to have to do that because I don't really need a big fire. Matter of fact, I bought a bunch of firewood there because I didn't have the change to get a smaller amount of firewood. So I've just got that firewood. We'll use it at home for something, you know, setting out around the fire or something. But it's summer. We don't, or almost summer anyway. Close enough. We don't really need a big fire. But that thing is kind of sharp. But this thing is going to come in handy for us anyway. And we won't have to build a big fire down there. We can just use our little firebox stove here. Now, I'm using it on this piece of wood here, this stump, because I didn't want to do it on the picnic table and leave like a scorch mark on the picnic table or something. That wouldn't be very nice. So I'm gonna do it here, but this little stump I've got is not exactly flat on the bottom, so I've got to try to wedge it up. So we're just doing everything wrong. I think that'll work. Alright, so I am going to be cheating though. I've got some of these little fat, I don't know what they're called. I don't know. Anyway, they're little fire starters. So we're going to use those to get the fire started. And then after it's started, we'll start loading it up with this stuff. Well, I'm gonna tell you, after the park kind of started clearing out there, the majority of people are starting to leave. The place has quieted right off. I hear some kids running around playing over there, but you know, that really doesn't bother me. And I can hear boats out there on the water, and that doesn't bother me either. I love the sound of a good boat going by, especially one that's got a V8 in it. But that doesn't really bother me. So all the random, like just music being blared and stuff like that is kind of quieted off some. The folks that were over here earlier left, and they left their garbage. So here in a little while, when I start picking everything up, I'll clean that area up too. I don't know why people do that. They come here, spend the day, have a good time, and then just leave all their trash. So it's a shame, but I'll pick that area up before we get ready to close everything up for tonight. If not, freaking raccoons will get out here and just destroy it all over the place. So I'll try to get it picked up before it gets to be a mess. But I'm pleasantly surprised with this place. Everybody was courteous down at the water today, swimming. Everybody was having a good time. I didn't hear or see anybody having any problems, which is kind of a surprise to me. That's one of the reasons that I like to avoid places like this. But no, I'm pleasantly surprised with how quiet and peaceful the place has gotten. And I'm kind of the only one back in this little section over here. There's some people, as you can see, back over there, and there's one big tent over here, but I haven't heard a peep out of them. So I may have judged it too soon. And I was told, like I said, to go check this place out early in the morning. So I think that'll be kind of cool too. I think we're about ready to cook. We've got our little tin of seasonings that Ken gave us, or he gave us the tin in the little vials, and I added some seasonings to it. Perfect. And I just added this little thing to keep it kind of quiet. So I've got some smoked chipotle pepper in here, red chili pepper. So that should be good. That'll be spicing it up a little bit. Is that a word? Spicing it? Spice it up a little bit. Got some salt in here, which that feels like that has become a solid again. We'll kind of break that up a little bit. That's probably enough. Let's saute this around a little bit. Let these cook down, and then we'll get our fajita chicken in there. So I've been seeing these Kinder Seasonings sauces, the dipping sauces, for a while, and I hadn't tried any yet. So today we're going to try the chipotle lime, but they have all kind of different flavors. They've got like a buffalo wing one, like a Japanese barbecue sauce or something like that that's probably really good. But today we're going to try this chipotle lime. Right now we got the peppers and onions are still sauteing in there, so let's try just a little bit of this on our finger. That's really good. Whew, it definitely has a little spice to it. It actually almost tastes like the chipotle sauce at Subway. That's kind of what it tastes like, with a little bit of a lime hint to it. Very, very good. So that'll be good. We'll get these veggies sauteed up, and then we'll get that chicken on there. The sun's starting to get low, so here in a few minutes after we eat dinner, I think we're going to walk down the boardwalk over there and see if we can get down there and check out the Suwannee River. Cheers. That's really good, just plain Diet Dr. Pepper. Put those in there, let them warm up just a little bit. It's almost time for dinner. Nice and warm. So I'm gonna get me a little of this dipping sauce, and I'm gonna put a little dipping sauce on there. That chipotle lime. I did bring some little guacamole, so that'll be good. Like that. Let's get onions and peppers, or mostly peppers. Let's get some onions. All right, now get this bad boy out of the way. Little chicken. That is gonna be good. Yeah, man. Roll it up. Like that. That's gonna be delicious. I was not wrong. Wow. That's freaking good, man. I do wish I had cheese, but it doesn't feel like it's like necessarily missing anything. That's really good. Honestly, I know it sounds crazy because I'm the one that cooked. It almost tastes like restaurant quality. Really good.
You can't turn the tide. Let the water go where it wants to go. You can run and hide. You can bury yourself beneath the stones. Somebody told me don't pretend, 'cause everyone could use a friend sometimes. Take some good advice.
Well, that was pretty neat. I was down there just kind of watching the sun go down on the river, and I was sitting there hearing the splash in the background. So I grabbed my cell phone and was trying to catch a sturgeon jumping, and I caught it. Pretty neat. Check it out. Got it. Now I know I got pretty excited about it. You guys know I never really catch anything, but it was neat. I just happened to have it on at the right time, so very cool. I have, surprisingly enough, had a really good time today, and I know I kind of don't give these things enough credit, these kind of campsites like this enough credit, but I'm surprised. It's been a really good time today. After the crowd left and it was just the campers, it basically quieted off. I mean, there's some people over here, you can hear them kind of having a good time, but nothing crazy. So I'm just sitting here by the fire and enjoying it, and I'm about to crash out here in a little while, so I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, I have to admit, I really didn't think it was going to rain. It seemed like it was going to be fine. And then all of a sudden the bottom dropped out and it started flooding. I'm really glad I put this tarp up here. It would have been a rude awakening if I hadn't put this tarp up here. You never know what you're going to get. Always got to be prepared.
There's an otter over there.
Well, good morning. It doesn't look like there's going to be a pretty sunrise. I walked around here trying to figure out where I could set up and get a time lapse for sunrise, but it kind of rained all night and on and off a little bit all night, and it's just kind of dreary and gray this morning, but that's fine. It's absolutely beautiful here, and it's peaceful and quiet. I feel like I'm the only person awake right now. And I've walked around the spring here and checked out all the springs are so clear first thing in the morning. Nobody's disturbed them yet. The water's just clear. All the turtles and stuff swimming around here. I actually got a little clip of an otter earlier, but I don't know if it turned out. I'll just have to see about that, but absolutely beautiful. There's birds over here fishing. I know I said it a couple times last night, but pleasantly surprised with this place. It actually is well taken care of, and everybody seemed to observe the rules. Quiet time is after 10, and it was quiet well before that. So I really had a good time. There was some people back there where I was camping that were kind of partying a little bit and having a good time, but nothing out of hand. I'm just now starting to hear a few people starting to rustle around, but it's only about 7. I've been up for about a half hour. You know, I gotta jump up and grab the camera and come straight down. Get the footage no matter what. Hopefully you can see it, but that's pretty cool. A turtle surfaced over there, just chilling, floating around. Actually, there's 2 of them chilling, floating around. Haven't seen a gator yet. I gotta tell you guys, this new chair is a game changer. It is so comfortable, and we got it from Sam's Club. I want to say it was like $50 for the chair, but it's obviously not something you're gonna hike in somewhere, but for car camping, you can't hardly beat this thing. Let this thing burn down just a little bit. I'm gonna get some coffee on, and I'm gonna try to figure out something for breakfast this morning. I didn't bring any oatmeal, but I did bring some bacon, and I don't have any eggs, but I have some leftovers from last night, so I may kind of throw all that together and make a couple wraps. Low carb breakfast. So for camping trips like this, if you're going to use bacon, I like to use this bacon that's already fully cooked. Doesn't take as long to heat up and cook, and it makes it a little easier. It's not quite as good as like fresh cooked bacon, but it's good. It works anyway. But we've got some bacon cooked up. I reheated my stuff from last night. I'm heating some tortillas through right now. Fixing to have us a good breakfast. Coffee. That's good. So, got our tortillas heated up. Time to make a wrap. So I didn't bring any paper towels or anything, and I got my plates all used up there. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna add me some more of this. This stuff is actually really good. Add me some of that on there. I'm gonna put me some bacon on here. And I'm gonna put me some chicken and onions and peppers on here. Oh, I got guacamole. Okay, I gotta find the guacamole. Holy guacamole. So, I used up that whole thing of guacamole last night. I love guacamole. So, now, I'll put some guacamole on this. Sarah doesn't eat it, so it doesn't matter. Oh yeah. That's gonna be delicious. If I can do this without dropping it all over me, it will be a miracle. Miracles do happen. It is delicious. This is literally one of the best things that I've cooked out camping. That chicken was really easy to do. Onions and peppers, a little bit of that smoked chipotle pepper on it, and then mix it all up with this, with that Kinder seasoning and some guacamole. It is so good. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish eating my breakfast, and then we're gonna decide if we're gonna pack up or if we're gonna go ahead and just hang out for a little while and go swim. I do have to get packed up because I have to be ready to leave by 11. But as long as I'm packed up and ready to go, I can go swim and it's not a big deal. So they said I could pack up and get ready to be out of here, and I'd still be able to just hang out for the day. So we'll see what we're gonna do. I don't know. Well, got breakfast all cleaned up this morning and picked up. Decided that since I was here anyway, I might as well go try out the facilities. So walked up there and took a shower this morning, which is definitely not normal. I mean, I normally take a shower, guys. That's not what I'm saying. But camping is not normal for me. Typically, go out, get nasty, and spend a few nights or whatever, and then go home. And then the best thing after a camping trip is that after camping shower. But this morning, you know, I'm not used to sleeping in a tent, and that air mattress is not the most comfortable thing in the world. So my back was kind of stiff and sore this morning. So after breakfast, I said, well, let's go over and check out that shower. And they got good hot water. The place is nice and clean up there. I have to admit, this is a really nice place. I'm gonna make me another cup of coffee. It looked like it was supposed to rain, but now the weather app on my phone is saying that it's not gonna rain until later on in the day. So I don't know. I may kind of get this place packed up and go jump back in the water. We'll see how things go. So I get the privilege of doing something this morning that I have yet to do on this channel. I have a group of new patrons to thank. So this morning, I want to thank Kevin Hunter, Eeyore, Brandy Bruce, Donna Bruce, Robert Lonadier, and Matt Grills. They all joined the Wild Bunch. They joined our Patreon. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, links in the description. And we'd definitely appreciate it. There's a private Facebook group that they'll all get added to. And just kind of makes it a little more intimate, where we can all kind of just get in there and have conversations and share what we're doing and plans, upcoming plans and things like that. So those folks are getting added to the Wild Bunch, and we really appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. So I was just getting ready to get this thing packed up, and I wanted to show you something. So I love these DD tarps and everything. The only problem is, after a while, and especially after they get wet, they start to sag a little bit, and they get a little droopy. And if you don't have a good taut pitch, it will sag a little bit when you get some rain, and it'll puddle. And it started doing that last night. And I woke up, and it had a puddle right here, and it was kind of holding water. So instead of letting this thing pull one of my stakes out or break a trekking pole with that weight of that water, I got up and I made a weight right here. Now what I did was I just took a piece of string and a piece of firewood, and I hung it off of this point. Well, what that did was it tightened up the other areas, and it made this the low point in the tarp. So the pooling quit, and it all ran down right here away from my tent, and it solved that problem. So if you have a tarp set up and you have some pooling, a lot of times you can just take and weight one of the tie-outs and pull that part down, and it'll let that water drain off of there, and that'll solve your pooling problem. So just something to think about. I hope it helps you in the future. Now I got to get this place packed up because I'm running out of time. you can see, we are all packed up and ready to get out of here. I think I've kind of talked myself out of going back swimming. I'm dry, and I got about an hour drive, close to an hour drive back home, and I'd kind of rather not drive home soaking wet. So I had a great time yesterday, and really fun. Had a lot of fun swimming and cooling off, but I think that's going to be the end of the swimming for me this trip. I had a really good time out here though. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it that big thumbs up for me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down there. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next week.